9.
Hey, folks, we're back. I changed coats. My color's different. That's how you know it's different. But no, we're just here for a wrap up. Some other people still coming back from their little siestas, as we call it in the business of streaming, I guess.
I guess.
But no, we're just talking about
Real quick.
a bit of the Red Mire Hunt
Real
from
quick.
both perspectives.
Real quick.
I hope I'm pointing at you.
Yeah. You are actually, exactly. We are going to start this giveaway. If you are in the chat, please feel free to enter. Real quick, the first ticket is free. If you want to spend channel points because you watch the channel, you support the channel, you can do so to get another ticket to increase your odds.
Yeah.
If you are in the chat, please partake. Please. We want to give this stuff to our supporters and all of you, so we will
Please grab that free shit.
Yes.
You know
yes.
you got that in you.
Yes, it will be.
I know where I grew up. I'm getting free shit.
Yes, it'll be a shirt and a couple stickers if you win, and so there you go.
Oh yeah, dude. But hey, while that's going, you guys can ask me so many things before I just start talking a lot.
Oh yeah, let me ask you this.
So good at that.
Why the fuck did you kill my great uncle, you bastard?
He killed him. That was I tried to create the situation, which I changed the ruling on how the curse worked because it was far more interesting, and I think it ended up being narratively so much better to give you a choice and give everybody a choice on who's taking the hit.
Yes.
We could get into. There's a way to subvert it, as it's written on the character sheet of the monster, because that was the effect. It was from killing the Night Twist.
Nah.
But no, it worked better. I mean, also it being Gallon, and that works so much better for him. And I would have made a similar situation if Cordell wanted to take it. Like there's a magic to it. There's a ritual that can be done to just absorb it. But no, your grandpa killed your grandpa, man. I don't know what to tell you.
Grandpa killed my grandpa.
Yeah. But no, I had a lovely time fucking with you guys for quite a few sessions. I do want to say the paranoia as you guys were leaving the mire after being ambushed by the elementals, the blood elementals, as far as the character, like the monster sheets say, the paranoia that was thrown around wildly by both Gallon and Cordell was lovely to witness.
I gotta say, even the first session of like traveling there, and maybe into the second, can't remember where we picked up and left off. Like the paranoia hit hard for the travel there and the first time. Like as far as like a horse heading goes, like I felt it in real life too. I was like, oh, this is suspenseful. Like we're in for it.
That's the thing, and because when I make sessions, I have loose ideas, or when I make campaigns, I have loose ideas. And I have ideas of where things go, and then my players run in it before I have everything written out. Like, I was fucking stressing before the first session, like, God, what's gonna happen? Because I can't have anything planned until I see you guys interact with the world, and then certain things become true. And you guys started paranoid as shit. Jared, especially casting Detect Magic and getting so many pings of necrotic energy. By the way, throwback a little bit. I don't know if I told you this yet, Jared. When you walk downstairs to kind of figure out specifically, and then your magic was dispelled.
Oh yeah.
That was Larry.
Oh, that piece of shit.
Yeah, Larry down there. He had some magic on him. He didn't want located, and just gone.
Dude, what
Larry
the heck?
Was Larry?
But
he was the same guy the whole time.
The whole time he played the role of the carriage driver for Lord Edmure. I would say as far as like real world stuff, and by real world I mean like the world as it exists without you guys being present. Larry was a real guy who had been replaced by the devil.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
The giveaway is not working. What the heck?
Just give it.
It's like
everybody drop your address. We'll mail it to you. Whoever has the most interesting address, we'll send it. Please
don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, please don't do that.
We preface, do not do that.
Yeah. By the way, legally, just in case. Please do not do that.
I'm sad because this should be working.
I also want to say, just because it came up this session, Cordell, I knew you were going into the dam. I knew you were going in, and I knew there'd be somebody working the dam.
Okay,
I
hold
knew
on.
nothing about.
Real quick, hold on. Sorry. Corey is in, so whatever Corey did, whatever best healer did, do that.
Yeah. Also, like, way to fucking double dip, man. Wait, this is a giveaway? Give a minute.
Nah, man, get in here, buggy.
Speaking of fuck you, I didn't know who was gonna be in the dam. I was fully waiting for just roll with it, improv, whatever felt right. And then when he got down there, I'm just like, man, it's gotta be a dwarf. He's gotta be a real son of a bitch. And then Lambert was down there, and then the voice just came, and I was having so much fun. And then just iced him.
I felt so good about his exit too. I was like, oh, this man's seen some shit. I know he's gonna hit the boosters on the way out, and then I get off the dam and I turn around and I don't see him, and I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Lambert.
I think now with the new context of what that disc was, it opens a door. So it wasn't an explosion. Something came out of the door, and Lambert was there.
I was gonna say, because the way you were describing it, seemed like it was like something, like it's buckling. I was expecting a detonation, but it just seemed like something was straining the entire thing. The dam. In
my mind, like chains straight from hell hit the supports and pulled them in, and then probably one or two agents from hell. So to explain a little of the mechanics of that dam, which were a lot of fun, is sending stones were all throughout it. Or I guess all those stones were in it. Partially just magical support. And part of the reason the dam was created was by that same wizard who built the Red Mire. And a lot of it was one thing you know about the sending stones is it has protection from good and evil. A devil can never walk in there. An angel couldn't even. Cordell could though.
I see.
That makes sense.
What was the deal with the amulet then?
The amulet, it was just another thing that the devils wanted. Actually, I'll say this, and I hate that I added it only because it affects a past character I played. The person you beat the shit out of and left unconscious was my former character from the Through
the Frost Trail?
Through the Frost Trail. I keep wanting to call it the White Whale Expanse. It was Virden who was trying to take the amulet for a guy. He just knocked him fucking unconscious on the ground. Bro, just took his shit and left.
So you were fully prepared for Cordell to kill Virden?
If he tried killing him, he would have got back in some way. Because this happened in the past, it couldn't have happened.
I see. Okay.
It made sense. It's like the demons would be in contention with Virden's doing some stuff on behalf of another guy who's trying to get stuff for a ritual, you know. So you just did a favor that helped either the guy that hired you or maybe a guy he owed a favor to. It's a series of favors begetting favors begetting favors.
Yeah.
What about? And I don't want to dip super far into the future, but what's it look like for Cordell after 30 years in his third task?
So the reason I did this, and it's fucked up, and I'm totally okay with it. The reason I did it is so Jared has the option at any point in another campaign having Cordell arrive as an antagonist for somebody.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, hey, he just gave me a blank check with Joseph's character's name on it. He said,
"That's right."
Basically, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like as you're describing it, I'm like, okay, so he's just gonna be in this room for 2 or 3 decades or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could cut that short whenever the powers that be need him to come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the whole point was also which was kind of funny. Because I had you guys write, what was it? The sins and secrets is how I had everybody make their characters.
Yeah.
And the whole reason I did that is because of the night twist. It also happened to make you guys all make excellent characters I truly love.
Yeah.
Which is a weird side effect that I didn't expect. But Cordell, we didn't really ever get into your sin or secret, really. It never really happened to come up because how you played it.
Yeah, no, that never came up. The background there, and let me pull up my backstory so I don't.
Is Todd gonna continue to be gone?
I don't know. He's probably asleep. He's probably like, yeah, I'll be back. He's probably in the bed.
Did he say he was quite tired?
I don't know.
What a nerd.
I mean, he's probably. I don't fucking know, dude. I don't know.
Backstory for me, and to keep it short, essentially, Cordell was a criminal in his past, along with his brother. And they both, just committed some various criminal acts. Most of all, we specialize in hitmen, but we would only kill for good. We wouldn't kill to kill. We would take contracts. You know, rival lord that's like actually a bad guy. Guy's cheating on his wife. You know, just like the worst of the worst people. That's what we did.
I like it, yeah.
To get into the secret that I had and the sins, essentially, me and my brother, Cordell and his brother, at one point they got a contract to, I think it was a lord that we were gonna kill. However, the lord dabbled in dark magic, which Cordell and pretty much Cordell was heavily against, but the brother was not against. And Cordell's brother pursued the contract. Cordell pretty much arrived at the final fight late at night, and in the midst of the battle at night, Cordell struck his brother and killed his brother. And that's also the whip he obtained was from that fight. He struck his brother with that whip. That's why he does have a dark magic item, but was actually against dark magic and the whole essence.
Yeah. That's what it kind of drove me crazy, just waiting for those two threads to connect. Of Braff accidentally maybe killed my brother, and Cordell, I accidentally maybe killed my brother, and then like that synergy never got to grow. Like it's fine. I like how the story went. I wouldn't change how the story went, but it was. I'll say this. I think I already told you, but now I'm saying it on stream.
Yeah.
For me, narratively, the point of Larry showing up was to offer something that no one would take.
Yeah.
So that later, when things are desperate, Larry shows up again. And then he's just like, want to do something shady? And Cordell's like, fuck, yeah, get me out of here. And he's like, what? Like, okay, this is happening. And,
yeah,
which is good. I would
amazing.
never offer you something you can't take. Like that, the point of like, if I'm going to offer it to you, I need to be prepared for you to do it. But it's still like, as a person, like I planned it and then he took it. And like, there's the DM part of me playing Larry who went, hey. And there was a DM part of me doing everything else. I went, wait, shit. Okay. Well, okay. Well, this is happening over here. And I split the party. So that's on fucking me. And then, you know, a lot of fun, but.
And that when you offered that hand, I was like, I probably shouldn't take it, but I did, especially considering the fact that my past life was a criminal, a hitman. I had no real ties to this party and no real morals, yeah. So I had no obligation to stay. I figured take the easy way out, so that's what I did.
And look what it got you: damnation.
Well, technically not damnation. He hadn't turned his soul for anything. Yeah. Which is kind of funny. The guy you're stuck with, Orgel, even if you offered your soul to him, he could not give a shit. Like, what am I going to do with it? Like, I can't do anything with it. Like, because that's part of the fun I did. Just for any of you who wanted to look it up, I think it was 3rd edition. It was converted to 5th edition. Like, the thing that Corey was interacting with was called a Harvester Devil. They're just salesmen. That's all they do. Like, the thing you were dealing with is not all-powerful. Just so you know, Corey, if you died in the dirt, it couldn't revive you.
Oh, really?
You would have just died in the dirt.
Oh, that would have been crazy.
The entire time it was telling you, like, I'm just gonna bring you back. It was bluffing.
Cordell fully believed it and thought he was invincible. So
that's the point. That's the whole point. Yeah. It was just a series of some lies written down on paper, absolute truths, which is what I like about the devil type characters with those. It's like, it's going to be true to the contract. The contract's going to have loopholes upon loopholes of things you don't understand.
Yeah.
I really
like that dynamic.
Okay. I want to wait for Todd to get here to say one part of this. I'm going to shoot a text, see if he's coming.
Yeah.
Feel free to ask questions. There's just one thing I'm holding on to in my back pocket that I want to make sure you guys know about, but I want to make sure I'm telling everybody.
Could you tell me about the Harold the Mage who built the castle?
Oh yeah, what the hell is that guy's shit?
Oh, dude, he in my mind,
why is the castle all like organic looking?
Oh, in my mind, there was 2 ways it was gonna go, and I stuck with one of them. But just to tell you, one of the ways it was gonna happen, he was gonna be the first victim with a night twist. But then that didn't make sense because he was a crazy, powerful mage in some right. making all this. And really, in my mind, it just is a guy. It's a guy who is really powerful, was helping the Mason Order, but was clearly well above that bar. He just was a guy who just used magic for every solution, even if it didn't need it. He built a dam to hold back water, and it's like, I'll use the magic to help aid building the dam. He built the castle because people needed help building a castle, and he was there and he could. In my mind, it was just he built things horribly irresponsibly and in places he didn't understand because he could, and then he left. He went. Okay. He is off somewhere else. It's in my mind, it's like sorcerer makes more sense than wizard. It's a guy who just is very powerful with magic.
He's kind of dicking around.
Well, in his mind, not dicking around. In his mind, probably helping, because the dam's helpful. The keep is, in essence, helpful. But what happens after?
Maybe the keep shouldn't necessarily be there, or maybe it's not totally structurally sound necessarily in certain respects.
Yeah, it was. I really wanted to at some point have I briefly considered the other thing is him being the original victim of the Night Twist, rewriting some of the Night Twist spells to be using him instead of the Baron being.
Who is in the tree?
Oh, it was just a guy.
Oh, okay.
It was just the first. So the tree, for one, has only been there 2 years. It was planted.
Planted.
Oh.
By the first guy, the guy who's stuck in the tree. There's.
What a dick.
The magic that was being siphoned was going to, in some way, to aid Voldra out there. And it was planted by Voldra. That's it's a character from Todd's backstory. It's a witch who's trying to grow in power.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what about those tree people or the swamp people that oh gosh.
Todd's on his way back. Yeah. The other option for you guys, and I'll wait to say this when Todd has his cans on, and by cans I do mean string in his ear. Oh, there it is. Sew me a sweater, my friend. All right, there he is. Todd, oh, you're muted. Yep. Oh, there you are, baby. All right. Oh, we're talking about stuff, but about the people. Essentially, you guys could go and hunt. That was fully able for you guys to do. I had two main themes of horror I was going to go for. One would be the paranoid kind of body horror to an extent. It was going to be a good degree of what happened is the paranoia inside the keep, the Night Twist, the psychological aspects of it, and however those played out. Another version was Viet Cong. And that was if you guys went after the village, and then you're fighting punji sticks, you're being hunted at night, you guys would not be able to successfully sleep. And there's a village of people, which I was going to make humanoid, and more closely tied to the older magic you were seeing around. In my mind, these are the people who set up the set those standing stones around to protect them. And it didn't work because angels and demons didn't kill them, but guys rode in with armor and horses and fucking killed them. And that's why they had to relocate. But those people would be the ones who'd be fighting, and they'd be. It would have been bad, but a different type of campaign that was available for you guys if you took that route.
Yeah, so I just want to say shout out to Cordell who made this whole shit paranoid times 64 immediately off rip with that fucking whip.
Well, I was gonna say that whip derailed. I would have gone through with the hunt, but that whip kept telling me something was undead around. It was just paranoid off the max. I was like, no, something's not good here. Something's funky.
Okay. You guys never really got into it, but I'm so excited to talk about this, and I want to wait for Todd to get here. So the amulet you pulled off the Baron, it did two things. Functionally, it cast silence. The Baron was not magically enabled in any way. It also hid the signature of them being undead.
I knew it.
Somewhat.
I knew that.
Okay.
In my mind.
I've spoken at some length. I don't remember if I said it on stream, but one of the most stressful sessions I've ever played at D&D was the dinner scene. When really one of you ate, everyone else was running around. The reason why it was there's only one more session that was more stressful, and that was the home game when you guys were doing the train heist. Because we had the 2 men at arms, you had Daniel, you had Senric, and you had the Baron. There were only 3 people. there was 3 shapeshifters that kept changing people and personas and moving around and shifting, and they had to balance around who had the necklace because it hid their undead signature the whole time. So they had to change out who was wearing the necklace and who was moving through. That's why the men at arm had the same cough that Senric had, because it was literally the same person moving through. So I had to keep track of who was where, who was changing what, who had the cough, who had the necklace. And they, like, you briefly overheard when you were in your room, Gallon, 2 of them talking to each other and figuring out who had the necklace on them as they went about. So there was only ever 3 other people in that keep at any time.
I'm not gonna lie. That was something that like I like kind of was thinking about. Was I did like it wasn't like something I like was like super like for sure about, but I was like a little bit weird of like because I noticed that people would be gone and people would be there, and then people would leave and then they'd come back. So it was a little like detail that I was like, what? But it wasn't.
Looking back, I'm aware of that now, but like at the moment, I'm just like, dude, it's like part of world building. Like people gotta leave, you go do stuff, come back, whatever. Like I don't care about their business, you know. That's
you have no idea how fucking weird you feel when you know the secret and you're like, here's the thing that leads to my secret. Fucking soon. They're just leaving. People need to get dinner for you, motherfuckers. They're going, and it's like, don't call them.
Wait, wait. So Daniel and that other guard were the last 2 shapeshifters. Oh, fucking son of a fuck.
And so, you know, that was another, I guess this was actually from Pathfinder. They're called Faceless Stalkers. So they change physically. Todd, you killed one of them.
Yes.
Which was in the form of the Baron. But the other 2 got away.
Yes, it did.
Maybe the swamp, maybe the dam bursting killed them. Perhaps it didn't. But they got away.
Holy cow.
Well, I'm not.
Does that translate to the note or the letter being all funky?
That does, because they only had the memory, so they were working directly with Voldra and by extension the Night Twist. So they were getting names of people to call, and those names were from the Night Twist assimilating these people in their memories. They were getting names from people that these people knew.
Okay.
The Baron knew you. The Baron, the Mason Order knew other people. Gallon was somebody the Baron was considering talking to, but then never did. But then Voldra dropped that name. If you guys would have looked at your letter that ended up going to the estate, it would have been written perfectly. She would have wrote it.
Oh, that's why when Braff looked at it, there was nothing.
There's nothing. No.
Because Braff
everybody else is written by horrors, which I made them undead because I made Corey's whip and I wanted to reward that. At the same time, Todd, I'm so sorry there was nothing that was invisible for your lantern.
Yeah, I kind of realized that, but it made me feel better.
The lantern worked and it was good. Just invisibility never, like, if you guys went to the fucking
into the swamp.
If you guys did what the Baron said, if you went to the wilderness and did that, a lot of things would have been invisible. And good fucking luck. But you didn't, and it makes sense.
Yeah, it's probably best case scenario, to be honest.
I also want to say, and I do mean this sincerely, Evan, fuck you. From the bottom of my heart. Just every time I had something waiting in ambush, roll perception, like, damn, 26. I'm like, what?
Yes.
Why? Like, why you gotta...
I will...
Because I'll say...
Just gotta be all negative about that.
For you guys, I'm repeating stuff, but just for people on stream. The whole... When you guys were going down into the cistern, like when you guys were going down to the cavern, and then you guys rolled the check that you saw the creature, you cast daylight, and it came out towards you. If you guys never noticed it, which was its fucking intention, it had silence on it. You guys would have found the Night Twist, started fighting the Night Twist, a silent thing with plenty of hit points would have came up behind you and blocked your exit and beat the shit out of you.
Dude.
It would have been an absolute slaughter.
Dude, I literally texted Todd.
Instead, you beat their ass twice.
I literally texted Todd.
That guy.
Yeah. I text Todd and I was like, dude, I was walking Knox like the next day and I literally had the epiphany. I was like, Connor is a sicko. That man literally made a monster with silence that was going to flank us and beat our ass cheeks and we wouldn't be able to hear each other getting their ass whooped. I was like, that's crazy.
If you guys would have went to sleep that night, that creature was going to come up and drag you down one by one.
One by one? Oh, it's quiet?
Dude,
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, dude, I'm like.
Is it a
You're a sick bastard.
Is it a dark mantle?
I don't know what So there's certain things on the creature that were created. The silence thing I created, but the stats I used were that of a wood golem. I gave it the silent feature. Then I gave it one of its melee attacks would grapple you to the ground, which Cyrus found out when, as elegantly put, he can no longer have an open casket.
Yeah, what the hell?
Which fucking sent me, Evan, by the way. Just the most out-of-pocket thing to say to a man.
I will say, Evan, like, your character, though you took the most, I wouldn't say all, but a lot of dog shit spells in comparison, in just in some way, I will say you used them very, very well, and your eyes saved us. So, like, even though you didn't have a lot of damage-based spells, and you kind of had some off-the-chart utility, you did work. That's all I have to say. You did fucking work.
Off-the-chart utility. I know. Looking back, I sort of realized I kind of built this character to be like as if I was going to be playing him for a long time. You know, like all the spells are just like stuff. I'm like, surely I'll come across this at some point. There's like dark vision and find traps and invisibility and locate object and pass without trace and protection from poison, because you mentioned the poison.
Which
plus,
nice.
I already have
red herring, by the way, just in case you're wondering.
Poison.
The only person who kind of dealt with it was Gallon getting shanked once. And it was just like, I secrete the poison from my body, literally. I don't give a shit. And just punch it in the head.
They said Maddie doesn't exist.
One thing I really want to do, though, is because I know Corey already said his sin in secret. I do want to know everyone's sin in secret.
Please, if you want to go around the table.
Richter, I want to know what yours was with your fucking freak-ass doll.
Yeah, the secret was me having the doll.
Okay.
So the secret was sort of revealed throughout the campaign. Yeah, I had a voodoo doll. Richter had a voodoo doll. Because... So, yeah.
Yeah, give us a backstory kind of highlights, yeah.
Alright, yeah. Richter's village was attacked by a young sorcerer, like, probably like a decade ago or so, with seemingly no motive and no warning. They just kind of came through. There were, a bunch of close friends and family died. And then the Mason Order happened upon, they just, happened to be coming by, not to defend, but just to be like, holy shit, what just happened here? And, the remaining people were like, this just happened. And so the Mason Order kind of helped everyone there get back on their feet.
Oh, cool.
But I was like, fuck this.
Nice.
I'm going after that son of a bitch. So I had a vendetta, I was out for revenge.
Mm-hmm.
Richter was trying to kill this little fucking prick. Whoa, God.
What? Did he show up at your house? Is it time?
You see a fireball go under the door.
Oh, you saw red there for a second, dude. He was like,
no, sorry. My page just scrolled weird. Yeah, but so while the Mason Order was there, one of the knights was talking about this witch or whatever, and I was like, a witch, you say? And so I went and visited the witch. I expected to find her in a nasty ass house, but she actually had a very cozy cottage in the forest, rather than a horrible cabin in the woods.
Yeah,
important distinction.
That's really important.
Oh God, what the heck? I really went into I added some weird details about
I remember.
A beautifully tended garden speckled by sunlight filtering through the trees.
What the?
It's important to know.
I like
She's
that.
a very trusting witch. All right.
Well, I don't know. I don't remember what I was thinking about. But the rest of it's very informational. Anyways.
So it was at the Mason Order that was your driving point to come here. Did they they were like, hey, come on over here, and you're like, okay.
Yeah, he himself wasn't invited. Cyrus was, and
Oh.
then he extended the invitation to Rick.
I like that there was two players who literally were kind of inadvertently just thrown into this, but not actually invited. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I did not get an invitation.
And you wish you still had. You're glad you had until you witnessed.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, I got the voodoo doll from her, and she's like, it comes with a great price. I'm like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, okay. But, I can imagine you kicking open the door, and she says that. You grab it, say, yeah, whatever, bitch, and then you leave the house. And then you're just
no, I'm like, we spent some time. I'm like, okay, how do you use it? She like told me the words. I like wrote them down to practice them, you know. But it accidentally like I didn't really understand that it would like bind to me. So I like went in there, you know. Yeah, obviously I was like, damn the consequences. But you know those consequences came back. I had no idea that it was gonna like puppet me after I died.
Yes,
That was super wild.
That was
a little feature I added to it because I knew people were gonna drop. So I'm like, well, some people have magic items that are really bad, and what happens if they go to 0? Yours wasn't the only one that had a thing like that. There's also a certain whip that would have been really bad for a character if he outright died.
Really?
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so if you would have died in the dirt, bro, you probably would have nuclear missiled anyway and just killed the tank.
I know the way.
He definitely would have, because he would have been playing a second character that was about the same. He would have been playing his brother.
No way.
Oh, dude.
I should have died in the dirt.
You rolled, you nat 20'd, healed to 1, dug out of the dirt. Remarkably,
Dude,
just like, fuck it, I'm up.
You should have killed me when I tried to run through the window and then have my brother come up.
I didn't want to do damage.
That would have been
that, like you making your character die for something
fun.
that stupid. I just couldn't let it happen.
I know.
This man said
the second time, yes.
Dude, this man rolled 46 athletics checks. I was like, Connor really needs to give this guy some grace. He's really helping him.
But Richard, I think you were still saying because there's more to your doll, if I remember. Vividly, actually.
The sin. Was that my goal with the doll was to use it to like, you know, find this sorcerer and like torture them and then kill them. That's not the sin. What happens is I found a goblin who I was certain like knew something about the location of the sorcerer or whatever. And so
what?
Conform.
All
Conform.
Right.
Everybody at home, put up your dot to your monitor.
You want to see my magic dice?
Tom, I'm gonna go in here and beat your ass. I mean, I'm gonna try, and you're gonna beat my ass, but the point stands.
Oh, which was my? Oh, this is the coolest one that I had.
I think most of you have seen the quick status I have. Oh shit, where are they?
I like this one a lot. Anyway.
You distracted, Evan. This is on us.
Anyway.
I bought myself enough time to grab another beer. But Evan, please tell them about your sin, because it's one of my personal favorites.
Oh yeah, I tortured the goblin. Mercilessly. It's way out of character for Richter because I'm like, Richter's like
kind of a chill guy.
Yeah, a chill guy. I'm a druid hanging out with my grassland peeps.
Yeah.
Nice.
Hanging, banging.
And suddenly I'm like out here for revenge, trying to inflict damage on people, which totally worked, by the way.
You were the guy in Siege Warfare. Why do you know all about that?
Well, that was from like fun. in all the like traveling I did in searching for the sorcerer.
So let's just lay siege to every castle we find.
Yeah, my mind,
just, like, learned things. Like people would just be talking like at a tavern or whatever. Like, whoa, you were in a siege. Like, what was that? Like, I'd just be like meeting people, talking about stuff.
Yeah, like sometimes you'll talk with people at bars or something, like areas where you'll just get in long conversations with strangers, and they'll be talking like an expert about things that it becomes quite apparent they have no idea what's really going on. I feel like there's a good amount of that. Richter heard a bit about it. It was also my favorite because I think you were just talking a lot about catapults. And then I just kind of and you. I'm just like, oh, you know a lot about Siege Warfare. And you're just like, absolutely.
I know. I heard that.
That's funny.
That was a lot of fun. Then also I got like my halberdiers. They didn't have personality. I was gonna let them fall into it. So one of them very quickly, really into sieges, a bit drunk, a bit loud. The other guy was like ran things right. You know, he was to the letter. And that was a lot of fun too. Because all the characters before they fucking croaked had some personality. That was really good.
I'd say, that's one of the, I mean, I haven't played in a ton of other serious campaigns, but I'd say it's one of your strong suits as a DM, I think, is making, like, characters that actually mean something.
I appreciate that a lot, especially, well, I mean, you guys make them make sense. The characters could be as interesting as I want if you guys don't interact with them in a meaningful way. it doesn't become anything. But like you having a conversation about siege warfare lets this guy talk about it with you, and then he's not just a guy with a halberd, he's a guy that knows about siege warfare and is kind of a loud drunk. So much more interesting.
We
than,
never knew his name,
halberd.
but damn
Dillard.
it. No, we never
Dillard,
learned it before he died.
Oh, before, yeah. As far as
he
knew, he died as extra number 2.
Yeah.
But
the other part of my curse is that, or the other part of the, so I tortured the goblin. I like, kind of like broke in the middle of it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I fled the scene. Doll's still intact because I can't part with it. And so I was just like, I had to get out of there.
Why is Ashley haunting us? Okay. Huh? I just saw one eye at the corner of the screen.
Oh god.
No, please. I'm sorry. We keep interrupting you, Evan. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm really drawing it out. Anyways.
Oh, you're good.
The other main part of the secret is that I was afraid to sleep because it brought there was it was part of having the doll is that it like made, gosh, I don't even remember what
if I remember,
did,
you
but...
yourself had trouble sleeping. It wasn't about the doll. If I remember, it was like just PTSD.
Oh,
if I remember, which was hilarious because the entire time you were telling me about it, I laughed a lot knowing what you were saying. And even the first session or the second session, I guess, when you guys finally slept, you referenced that you weren't really sleeping much. I think it was nodded to because we both knew that. And I laughed a lot knowing it was not gonna reasonably come up again. Because I knew y'all were not really gonna be able to sleep after that.
That's sort of that was one of my kind of considerations. I was like fuck it, this is a fine thing to include, but I was worried that I couldn't come up with another good secret, so I'm like hopefully it'll be good enough. But yeah, it didn't really impact
I think it was
anything.
awesome. I liked it.
I didn't sleep anymore.
Oh yeah, I mean you're sleeping a lot, buddy.
Damn. Well, you didn't have to say that, but
I will say, and I know I've said it before, but I'm just gonna say it again. Gallon, you were the best Oath of Vengeance paladin I've ever seen. as a blood hunter, and dude, you're just so hell bent.
Bro, tell us the backstory, Doug.
Bro, well, you'll know why in a second.
Yeah.
I will say, I'm glad I didn't choose paladin.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, paladin probably would have wiped the floor with everything, so it would have been kind of lame. I would say mechanic wise, I really liked that we had to figure out a lot of the roles. It wasn't just oh, I have detect magic.
Yeah.
No, I mean I have detect evil.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I have, you would just detect evil, and then oh, there you are,
Yeah. Well, to be fair, that necklace was made specifically to subvert some of that. Not to tell you no, there's no evil, but to tell you inconclusive, like it did with the whip.
Yeah. Well, but even the saving, the saving throws for the stuff that kind of took over. If you have +9 to charisma saving throw, you basically just
pass. Well, that was a fun monster that had it. But no, please, I know we got a bit of Gallon's backstory, in a lot of things, but if you want to just run through the hits on your sin and your secret.
The sin and the secret. So basically, the secret would have to do with, the backstory. I kind of alluded to a little bit of it. The secret was that Gallon basically created Voldra per se, because in the backstory, the necromancer that they went down to, when they fought him, and then his mentor got killed, the Voldra was some woman that was in a cage down there. They killed the necromancer. She's like, yo, free me. He's like, oh, all right, because he's he's young. He's 18 or whatever. He's young. Everyone else is dead basically. So he let her out, and then she basically completed whatever the necromancer was doing.
Oh shit, dude.
Yeah. So, and then basically didn't kill him and then left. So he spent, that would be when he was really young. I mean, he might have been like, I don't know, I didn't really do set numbers, maybe like 15 or something.
Yeah, no, but like you were a young man at that point.
Yeah, because he was like tagging along with, there was like 3 other blood hunters.
Mm-hmm.
And so he basically searched for Volja for like 40 years.
Oh my god.
And it never, I was gonna try and account for it. I was actually gonna reveal it when you said I had the fear,
right,
fear mechanic, and I was like, yo, can I say something? And you were like, nah.
Yeah, I was like,
so
okay.
basically I was gonna allude, because like I was gonna kind of work it in that I wouldn't say he was like kicked from the order, but like he was forcibly retired. Like he wasn't, like he was honorably discharged.
Right.
Like they would basically kind of called him like mad per se, because like of how he like kept searching for her.
Okay.
They were basically like he ended up like they basically kicked him out, and he was just like, all right, cool. And then he like still basically did, like he didn't have association with the order, but he basically just still kept doing like what he normally did. Like obviously he's old, so like not to the same degree. But that's why when like it was Volja, he was like, I'm just gonna fucking go down there, I don't care.
Yeah, just like the end of the road, regardless.
Yeah. So.
Which was a lot of fun for me, I'll say, because I'm like, there's a night twist down there for sure. Night twist can grow naturally, and I was open to that. But I'm in my mind, I was like, somebody planted it. It's there for a reason. It's there. It's like it's haunting. It's corrupting. The Red Mire's already nasty. There's something nastier in there. And then I read Todd's backstory. I'm like, well, there it is. All right. Here's the consequences of my own actions, rearing its dumb fucking head.
I mean, obviously, I wish he would have lived, but I did have an idea that like how something could be tied in later. But that's something I guess I'll discuss at a different date.
For sure,
but
yeah.
The sin would basically be due to like releasing her and like making a mistake like that. His interactions with, say, normal people and stuff like that, he didn't allow room for error like that. So that kind of plays into like what he did with Red Mire.
Oh, dude, yeah. Again, you and Cordell, and then Braff by extension, just being the most hostile, toxic people to the person you absolutely should have been the most hostile and toxic towards. And somehow it not coming to blows was so fucking stressful for me. Like the campaign's going one of two directions so quickly.
I think I still regret not hitting that, not throwing that blow.
Not hitting the.
I should have.
Not gonna lie, I think it's one of those things where I 1000%, as Jared was supportive of you, but Braff could not realistically, like, this is his first outing ever on adventure of like he's only heard stories of stuff, and so like he realistically could not be like, yeah, let's start beating the shit out of this guy. That's what adventurers do. So it's tough.
For Cordell, I think especially with the whip, the red flags were bright and huge, but no one else wanted him to go through with it, so he didn't want to have everyone against him. Right. I think he should have though. I think it would have streamlined our victory.
Hindsight being what it is, like Cordell was in a situation where he was so isolated from everybody else, and Richter, well, not being part of the Vendenst, was like he had the Knights of the Mason Order, and also like at that time he was dropped to 0, came back. So I just want to eat and sleep. That's what's happening. I just want to eat. I want to go to bed. And so like, but so you being like so separated from everybody, then eventually just going like, fuck it, I'm taking the deal. I'm out of here. Like, does make sense for Cordell.
For sure, yeah.
All the way back though to the walk through the marsh, like that first travel session when we heard the scream, what would have happened if we pursued that in the woods?
You would have you probably would have kept, it would have been leading you further. You would have heard the screams from 50 feet away. You would have got to the 50 feet. It would be 30 feet away. You'd go to the 30 feet. It would just lead you further and further and further. And that would have tied in very much to you guys eventually pursuing the village further outside of town that the Baron asked you to. It would have been kind of one of those types of things.
They were friendly.
Wait, the screams, were the screams a creature, or was it like a indigenous?
Oh, it was a creature mimicking voices it's heard.
Okay, so that's why I kind of inferred.
Because we heard a person, like heard the sound of a person. Is what I remember.
Yeah. So the point of it would have been dragging you far enough away you can never find your way back, and then the screams would have stopped, and it would have let you get separated, and maybe other screams would have happened. You would have maybe only a couple people go that direction now, and then it just would have they would have been using those voices to drag all of you out till eventually there's just small groups of you, and started ambushing you one by one like that. It was a series of doing so.
Damn.
Yeah, I'm ready.
That would have been interesting.
It would have been interesting if one motherfucker went down there, because that would have been quick. I'm gonna drag you out. There's one of them. God, jump him. Take his keys.
First, I will say, I was a little bit expecting more of like, just like from what you kept saying, Connor. I was expecting almost like player deaths throughout the arc. Like I was expecting a little bit of like I was expecting like, oh hey, next week Cordell's dead. He's not coming in. And then next week, or then Braff's dead. You know, I was kind of expecting almost these more of like these like guerrilla attacks or like things. But like you're saying, I feel like there would have been things like that. But like for the most part, we navigated around them to some degree.
Yeah. Well, I know it's a meme and I've seen it plenty of times, but there is a bit of truth to it. It was a statement of the DM gets to decide that the players are doing a heist. The players get to decide if the theme song is 007, Monty Python, or the Pink Panther. And though that's hilarious and true, it also places. I wanted the horror to either go like psychological horror. I wanted to dig deep into the interpersonals, so I did see it in the secrets. And we didn't really get that much into it. We got really into paranoia. We got into a bit of body stuff and horror. We got a little bit into like a kind of an emotional notes. Like it was horror, but like it was horror, and that was the backdrop for other things. And I think that was kind of a decision I made like partway through when you guys start interacting with the world. You know, like, oh, this isn't going to be a slasher horror. This is going to be like, you know, paranoia and murder mystery, and the murder mystery has lethal consequences. I fully expected, pretty much, if you guys went to bed that night, if Gallon wasn't lost out there, and if you guys were in the keep, like in the tower, and the Mason Order was sleeping there, Gallon would have got his shit rocked hard up there, because it wasn't just going to be the Baron up there. It would have been everybody. Light work, no reaction. Also, Gallon would have died up there if things went differently, but they just happened to not.
Can't kill him, man.
I rolled low.
Todd, how many? I truly want to know how many nat 20s and natural ones everybody rolled, because I know Todd rolled so many fucking nat 20s over the course of this like arc.
I never roll them in combat, but outside.
That's the thing. In combat,
well, in that one episode,
it's almost
like
better
4.
to roll a nat 20 to roll. It's almost better to roll nat 20s outside of combat because you get more information, especially a thing like this. A nat 20 to hit does more damage, and that's great. But a nat 20 like to investigate or find clues or to stealth or to perceive are monumental.
Speaking of which, where could that have gone when I was in the wall? Remember
when you were in the wall?
Where they were shape-shifting and sliding.
I think they were slurping out of the pipe. Exactly.
Exactly. Because these were like the creatures. They're called faceless stalkers. They have an ability when they go into their natural form, which you saw the Baron go into, was that slimy, reddish, just like gelatin form. They can squeeze through gaps as small as an inch.
Yeah.
So they were traveling up and down the pipes like Banks used to when they would set like through the pipe and just come down to the car. You know, those things. They were traveling to and fro the tree because that connection that was siphoning out of the tree was a direct line to their superior, Voldra. Voldra was siphoning energy from the tree.
So was Voldra like right like next? Was she next door neighbor?
No, it was magic, dude. It was magic, channeling magic to something grander she's doing. And if you want, Jared, you and I can talk about what that might mean. But the whole point of it was, and kind of how I built this arc is, you guys are not dealing with one major threat that hates you. You guys are dealing with symptoms of major threats. That's why Larry kept talking and calling it a game. Because Larry was involved, Vulture was involved. There was the other tribe outside that was not part of this.
Oh, they're probably involved. Dead now, huh? Because that fucking water.
They will have difficulty breathing. That's for sure.
Free burial.
But no. But like you guys are just happen to be there. You guys are at a crossroads of grander things. That was the kind of the point of it. Like nothing was specifically trying to kill you aside from just Gallon. And even that, like she just threw you into the wood chipper. She was already throwing wood.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of crazy though, because like, I mean, I didn't expect you to necessarily go with that, but like with that backstory for Gallon though, like that's how it started basically. So
well, you two,
you heard it here first.
Jared and Todd decided like, hey, can our characters know each other? We had a brief conversation. Yeah, sure. So then you guys made your whole backstory in such a fun way. Like that's really cool, and I want to reward that for one. Tons of really cool RP interaction. Having Gallon pass, and it became between Gallon and Breath. Richter maybe could have taken it too, if you wanted, but you know it made more sense for between the two of you. You know, and it really just came down to who did the death blow to the Night Twists, who got it. You know, and then Gallon just taking the bullet. But I also really quick, Richter, what are your level 3 spells?
My level 3 spells?
Yeah, if you don't mind.
While he pulls that up, as much
Please.
as we can say he didn't have combat spells, so we can maybe not say negate the usefulness of his class. Talk about my class as a monk. I used I think 2 key points, and one of them was in the after session, and I was a Way of Mercy monk, and I don't think I healed once with that.
You healed Richter back to health.
Yeah, you did
that.
once.
But that wasn't. I don't think that was with the Way of Mercy healing. I think that was with it was with something else, because the Way of
no,
you touched them.
I think that was the one key point, and then the other one was at the end. So I don't think I utilized my class really at all in comparison to Evan's class.
I will say this: I built all the fights planning on, and this is insane of me as a DM, planning on all 4 of the players to be fucking there. So like, there's a lot of combat you just weren't fucking there for it. You know. There was also a possibility with the Knights of the Mason Order, if you fucked up a little bit, you would have had to fight them to get to the dam. That was a total, like, I was open to there being combat in the dam to get down there. But you were really good about your social manipulation.
Nice. I would just calling out. I did not. I used, I think, 2 key points.
I will say
you played a rogue really well for a punk.
Yeah, there was a point where I literally I looked at your silhouette and I was like, he's playing a Way of Mercy monk. This guy's selling his soul to the devil. What the hell is going on here?
For real.
There was a moment that I was like,
Mercy was a new thing.
He said, you know, I had to do it. I thought it was cool just because, like, a lot. I mean, obviously, some of the combat you want to utilize it to survive. But I feel like a lot of it was more just RP and just how you went about stuff than like what class you played.
Oh yeah, your guys' classes kind of were true. Like you were a blood hunter for sure. You played a blood hunter. You were a wizard for sure. You played a wizard. Richter was definitely a druid and like played a very interesting druid too. But it influenced more role-playing things than combat. Combat is good and impactful, and like especially when you guys fought the Night Twist, or when Cyrus died fighting the other creature there. Like that was impactful, but like I don't know, the numbers of combat are interesting and fun and cool. But like I like, especially a horror game, the investigation and the social game is so important, and you guys all played that very well, and if not well, certainly uniquely, and that's important too.
I wish I would have been able to identify Cordell's whip. I was trying to get that in, but then it was like 10 minutes and we had to go, and I was like, we gotta go back to dinner, bro. Like we can't sit out here for 10 more minutes.
Oh, Richter, before we forget, what are your 3rd level spells?
Oh yeah.
I have a question after that. Conjure animals, daylight, dispel magic, haste, invisibility.
Oh, shit.
Speak with plants.
Oh my god.
Water breathing.
Those are your 3rd level? Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
haste is really goddamn good.
Yeah, haste is insane.
The thing is, I don't remember what. Oh yeah, I used conjure animals to fight the blood guys. I only have 2 spell slots. So I used that one.
So many. Wait, so you said
and then you used daylight.
You said you didn't choose any first level, right? Is that right?
Yeah, and I didn't. Yeah, I didn't quite understand. And
no,
I see now that I would have
that's
had
right.
4. Yeah.
Yeah, which
is
I
totally
briefly
fine.
thought about. Yeah, I briefly thought about was like, I'll let you just roll 2 first level spells to do second level. But by the time we were in combat and like it was done, like it already happened. But I the reason I asked is because I briefly thought you said you had remove curse.
Not remove curse. I had dispel magic, which
Dude, how convenient would that would have been, dude? I wouldn't have
If you
had
had
to cry.
remove curse, and I will say, let me read the language of it. This is just part of the blurb for the night twist. But
Yeah, that would have been good.
the only way to remove the curse is a casting of remove cursed or an equivalent during the victim's slumber while they're plagued with nightmares. That is the only way to remove that spell. So if you had it, it wouldn't have been in the bag. But I would have let you investigate it to figure it out. But it was so situational.
Is that what you meant by like there was a one way out and that was?
Yeah, I thought Richter might have said remove curse that he had it, which I don't even know if I think remove curse is 3rd level, but it might be higher even.
That sounds right. That does sound right.
But regardless,
I can fact check that just in 2 seconds. Let me do that.
But no, the night twist is a real son of a bitch of a thing. I accelerated the damage in the interest of time, but the thing's fucking nasty, and I do enjoy that.
I will say we were definitely like
the damn breaking made it so you were fucked.
We were 1 roll off because we said we killed it by like 2.
Yeah, it had like 220 hit points, and Braff got it to 222.
Yeah, well, you were down to 1 health, Richter. You were down to like low health.
Remove curses.
I was obviously dead, but like if I wouldn't have rolled super high for that damage, and it would have had like a whole other round, and then like say Braff died, then we would have everyone.
Well, this is the thing too, is I had 0 spell slots. I mean, I still had cantrips, but like it would have been
your last spell slot to do the damage. Yeah,
it would have been chipped, dude. It would have been tough.
Yeah.
Also,
go ahead.
Oh, just one more thing with that is I would just have to say that Braff, besides getting punched in the face by Gallon trying to help him, only actually took 1 hit, which was kind of crazy.
Yeah,
thinking back to it. But
because part of it is theater of the mind combat, which is what I wanted.
It was just fun. That was also another really fun thing to do.
Well, I love that, but part of it too, and in the interest, it's also in a story where combat is more a role-playing thing than a mechanical thing. I want it to happen. You're taking damage, and it's true. But I can't have a bunch of people on the board because, like, how close are they? I want to fireball, and this guy's here, that guy's there, and this guy's here, and whatever. Like, that gets very complicated. So you guys are mostly fighting one thing that can hit a couple people maybe at a turn.
Right.
So Braff playing a wizard correctly and not fucking being able to be hit.
Exactly.
Taking fucking steps backwards. That aided you, and then using what was mechanically a lair action of the Night Twist to just take 2 swipes at you, and that did damage. Was fun.
Well, yeah, that shield came in clutch too. Because that's the thing. Well, that's the thing as well. Is I mean, the whole like I built abjuration because I wanted to play a wizard, but then Connor was like, y'all gonna fucking die, and I was like, okay, I'm playing an abjuration wizard that can give me a little bit more health because holy shit.
Which it came like when you got hit, it helped a lot.
It did. It sucked about half that. It was like 20 something, and it sucked half of it. So
yeah,
it's good.
No, wait, what was the? There was like the tree creature in the previous chamber, but what was the thing that came out of the metal egg?
The thing that came out of the metal egg was going to be it was going to be like kind of it was going to be part of what ended up mechanically as a wood golem, but that creature. It was but the creature and the whole purpose of it is it was at least RP wise was absolutely the like guard dog and agent of Voldra. It did not listen to the Night Twist. It did not listen to the Facial Stalkers or Larry or anything. It was fully making sure everything for her was running. So it was actually it was in the golem and aware of what was happening, but it was like protected in the shell too. So like when it broke out of it in that span, it was trying to find a way to ambush you, and then it tried to sacrifice itself in a Hail Mary to fucking kill y'all, but really to kill Gallon. And in doing it died. It fully died when the tower fell. Like its whole thing was just, and combat wise, it only had like 20 hit points. It was 20 hit points, 13 AC. It was not strong, but it was waiting to ambush and found a way to ambush. And it was super fun to give you a very obvious thing that you guys were very paranoid about, which was the tower. And then
I
let's go to the tower, and everyone's like, let's go to the tower.
I was right, and I didn't even I didn't even think about that again. I feel like I should have, but also in my mind, it was like I thought honestly whatever was in there was probably like a little creature that maybe like was controlling it or something, and probably fucked off. I didn't expect it to be a whole nother.
No.
So I'm just gonna say this right now, dude. I just punched my mic stand.
Hit it harder. Let it know.
No. I can't do that. I'm just gonna say, bro. That shit was emotional, bro, when my homie died.
Dang,
That man hit me with the letter at the end, bro.
Yeah.
Fuck.
That was fucking rough. That was rough. And also,
so strong.
Gallon was such a big character who did so many, like, aggressively heroic things, bordering on psychotic. That was like, how's he gonna die? I was like, well, he's gonna get worse and worse and worse and then pass. You know, like that felt so cruel. Then as a DM, I did it anyway.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. I was telling, I think, Connor, I think you were still out, Todd. Yeah. I literally was saying, like, honestly, like I was sitting there and he kept rolling damage, and I was like every mechanic didn't click for me until a moment, and that's when I was like, oh fuck, and I got emotional because it was like he was like, oh, I'm rolling damage, and I was like, this guy's at full health. He's taking exhaustion, but he's getting long rest, and then that last roll when he was like, what's your health at? And you were like 8. I was like, oh shit, that's right. The whole point of this is that you can't sleep. And then like the visual of Gallon just being like exhausted as fuck, just like gone, and just like so tired, and just like it like broke my heart so fucking hard. And then and then the conversation like, yo, I had an idea, we can go here. And then you were like, yeah, all right, buddy. And I was like, okay, see you later. And then you die. Oh, dude, I'm gonna get emotional talking about it again. Oh my god.
Because Cyrus dying sucked for me a little bit. I like Cyrus a lot as a character, and that was fun with like his interactions with Richter. I was just like, I'm gonna make like one group of people, the Mason Order, who are also victims here. You know, who are like they're just trying their best. They're not great, but they're trying their best. And Cyrus was kind of like that main guy for it. And then I'm like, I have to DM me killing that guy brutally and silently. Fucking sucked. And then just like everyone's like, ew. I'm like, you guys noticed too that this is really shitty. That's good. You did such a good job just with every character, really. Because Cyrus, I felt too. Like, obviously, it wasn't as deep of a connection with Gallon, but like Cyrus was still like we even said it after the stream. You were like, it's like watching someone get like mugged or whatever in a CCTV or whatever. It's like it was so gut wrenching. It was so gut wrenching. It was just like fuck. And so that one was kind of scuffed. And then dude, Senric coming down, all bloodied and shit. Or I was like, what? Edmure, yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Edmure. Yeah, no, you're fine, dude. There's so many moving things.
Well, technically, they're not even. Dude, they weren't even real people.
You killing Edmure, like, fucking threw me through a loop.
That was actually kind of wild.
When you're just like, he's lashed out at you, and then you're just like, look, here's what's gonna happen. Good night. Like, that's the solution here. I was like, oh my god.
I mean, like,
what? You guys doing things that are irrational to me makes me feel better. Because it's a horror campaign. If you guys are actively making rational decisions, you guys are not in the proper headspace.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So
like, in my mind, it's like, oh, obviously, make the guy touch a root. He's back to normal. You have another body for the fight that's coming up. And Todd's like, I'm going to push him on the ground, stab him in the back. I'm like, okay, shit. Go for it, man.
Dude. Yeah.
I mean, like, I would say, like, in character, that's... Well, I mean, like, with mechanics for healing, like, obviously you have a lot more leeway, but, like, the dude was, like, being controlled, and he was obviously, like, really wounded, and I would say he had, like, a hunch that, like, they were feeding power to it, and or also, they could rush past him, rush in there, and then you could have him standing behind you, and he's got like a fucking halberd, and then he like attacks you.
Well, I'll say this: you had both Richter and Braff, who you brought further up, back out to touch a root. Maybe you could have carried him, but yeah, there was an option of this where you just let him keep walking, and he goes over to the Night Twist, gets assimilated into the grouping. Essentially, it was going to be very gross as roots go through his body, and the Night Twist would have had 30 extra hit points.
Yeah, that's the thing though. I was also thinking about that. if the night twist would have had 30 more health and we all rolled exactly how we did,
died, yeah.
we would have all died.
Yep, 250 would have been a lot.
Dude,
also,
oh, go ahead, Connor.
I was just gonna say, it was just gonna blight you as you were the only one left doing damage because I had resistance to piercing, which is what Richter and Anders was doing with their bows. You know, of course, Richter showing up with the doll and casting inflict fucking wounds on it was a lot, but
that was dope. Hey, also, real quick, let's do 15 more minutes and then we'll wrap it up here.
Hey, whatever, yeah. Well, by all means, ask me whatever questions you have because there's a lot.
Yeah, I figured. I don't know. Did I want to do it? Not necessarily.
I think.
Did I do it to him? Of course.
I think it was one of those things too, where like, Braff was so new to adventuring, and like obviously respected Gallon so much too that you just doing that was a shock to him. But it was also like we gotta like it was almost like a shock, but like there was so many more layers and like years of experience that you had that he just couldn't really like even begin to get into. So he's just like, what the fuck? Okay, let's go. Like we just gotta keep going.
Kind of too like the mindset. Like, he was really wounded, so it's just like. Because even for Gallon, like obviously Gallon died. It's just like we had no way of like really helping anybody.
No, for sure. I mean, the limited healing you have was not a real healer who also fucked off inside.
Literally, also yes. I would like to say shout out to the worst healer.
Shout out to the worst healer.
That's me.
Also, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Obviously, the best infiltrator.
Hey, if Evan would have just took his only first level spell of cure wounds, that would have been so
dude, it would have been game over.
No.
We'd still be campaigning in the swamp.
Let me say this, and this is again mainly for stream. We mainly play Star Wars 5th Edition, which for casters, what it does is it does a pool. You have a pool of this many points, spell points for whatever, and you get to use 3 for this level, use 2 for this level. So it's a lot more fluid. So I totally understand how Evan's like, pool, and I'm going to use them for higher levels. You know, and then he went, shit, this ain't a pool. These are very separate, and why are they separate?
Right. The context.
I totally get that.
The context makes sense, but I like just think of that. That was your only first level.
Also, Corey sent me a Star Wars 5e fucking character sheet back in July, and I never noticed.
There's a lot of
going on. Yep, looks good. Your AC looks solid, and I didn't even notice the big ass text on top that said Star Wars 5e and the futuristic layout. Dude, it's like, it looks fucking good.
It's just got more pizzazz.
It does have more pizzazz.
Of the first stream, can we find that?
Dude, maybe it was early. Maybe it was early August or late July.
You want the episode? This first episode?
Yeah, for the Red Mire Hunt.
First episode, yeah.
I can look that up real quick.
As this is now the 1st of October. Happy spooky season, everybody! Ooh, we have a Friday the 13th this month, everybody. So remember that for whatever the fuck you need to know it for.
For coming over to, I think, my house or maybe my parents' house, but
if everyone wants to come over to Evan's house, whoever's watching that stream,
everyone in the stream will link his address.
Find out where Evan lives.
Evan will be posting his address.
We're giving another free giveaway. It's shots of tequila.
If you win the giveaway, you get Evan's address.
Yeah, address, social security number, bank account information.
Hey, real quick.
Evan, we really appreciate you posting up for that.
Hey, real quick, July 20th-ish was when the first episode aired.
Oh, damn. Ish.
Yeah, because I posted a week after on YouTube, so like when we first started, like the stream would have been like the 20th.
Oh, that makes sense. So I got 19th. Corey's character sheet. I probably asked for it afterwards because I was trying to be sneaky. There's another thing that happened, and Todd rolled really well. I sneakily asked all you guys for a reminder on your guys' age. Because when the Night Twist began its song, the DC was slightly higher the older you were. Which worked out great, because the oldest motherfucker here passed.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I think, just like a final thing for this, just like in general, is I think that like, what I love about D&D is like the storytelling, just like the roles. Like, the roles will tell so much of the story too, right? Like Connor, like the DM, you have an idea, the players have an idea, and then the roles just make it. And like, it's always like, I wouldn't say best possible outcome, but such a good outcome. You know, it's like the roles will always make so many cool storytelling things. It's
for sure. Like failing, it can be just as rewarding as succeeding. as long as everybody's gracious enough to know you're telling a story.
Yeah.
You know, like everybody knows, like if I fail, it's a story, and if I succeed, it's a story too. That's gonna make me happier immediately right now. But like, man, because for me as a DM, when you guys were fighting the Night Twist and you rolled damage, I'm like, shit, he killed it. And there's this one part of me is just like, it's a war campaign. I want him to die a lot. But then it's like, this is what the dice is saying, you know?
Yeah.
They won. They won. They did it. They did good. There's always, as a DM, sometimes you know, like moving the needle every once in a while makes total sense, and I support that. But in this instance, it's like, you guys fucking earned it. You guys did it, like, you're down to the wire. Like, every bit of damage in that fight mattered. Like, even Richter, who was using a crossbow that he wasn't proficient with, firing, all the damage he did, if he missed any of those shots that did damage, Raph wouldn't have killed him.
Which also, like, you were rolling without a proficiency, and you hit like 3 times, so that was also pretty insane.
He was, him being able to stabilize it was wild.
It would have been disadvantaged, but I kept like setting it up on rocks or whatever.
Which I really appreciate that. Also, a thing with you bringing daylight into that cavern was so huge.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason I believe Gallon didn't get hit with Blight, which would have instantly killed him.
What was?
Because he got
Blight?
Blight. He got a Blight was a spell that was cast on him. I believe he had advantage on his saving throw because daylight was in. There's other things that the creature mainly had disadvantage, but in this case, mechanically, he had advantage on his saving throw. But it was a spell being cast on him that would have done 8d8 necrotic damage.
Damn.
He had, I think, at that point, like 13 hit points. It would have dropped him resoundingly into the ground. It might have instantly killed him, depending on the damage rolled. Like, it was a lot, and that's like the creature's beating your asses, if we're being honest. But like, it had some spells still in its pocket. Like, it was ready for a longer fight, but Gallon was doing so much damage so often.
Yeah. Gallon was the hero.
You have one question, and I'm sure you thought we'd skip over this.
Nope.
Who was the man that Corey beat the shit out of?
Oh, you missed it, dude. I'm so sorry. Todd, you missed it. I already said
Oh,
it.
yeah. He did say it.
I missed it?
That was Virden. He beat the shit
I knew
out of
it.
Virden. Yeah.
I knew it. I said the little white lanky boy. I was like, oh,
Nice.
who that is.
Yeah, Virden from the through the
Okay,
Frosttail arc we just played. My last character, who his backstory was a lot of just getting magical items, and he came in contention with the wrong quick topple who beat his ass and was gracious enough to not be lethal about it.
The best infiltrator, bro.
The best infiltrator. Yeah.
Bro,
I do want to say one thing,
just
because, well, yeah, he is lucky, because that would have been hard for Jared to figure out how he was still alive. But there's one thing you guys would not have enough evidence for, because it never came up. So I'll just tell you what happened now. When you guys were first traveling through the Red Mire, and you found a body that was there that was impossibly decomposed, and Daniel and Senric, which you guys now know were both shape changers, were both like, what's going on? And no one could answer it. There was a spell effect from one of the creatures that was trying to draw you further out, which increases your age dramatically. So that person died, like 3 days ago. It was one of the people from an other hunt that was brought before you.
Shit.
But
the hunts are
he
running
decided. Yeah, you guys are like maybe the third hunt that come through town.
And they're just sending out letters. Like the shapeshifters are running around doing like setting things up, sending out letters, and then like every couple of days a new batch of people comes in.
Well, not maybe every couple of days at this point. It accelerated a lot for different things, but no, the idea was like they keep sending out letters. Not all the time do they go through Marsh's Retreat. This is the first time through Marsh's Retreat. In my mind, there was other towns nearby or other locations nearby to draw people. Because some of the people we didn't get into, perception checks were low, but some of the other people in the around the tree were locals. So the first people that were summoned were not summoned by letter, but by like word of mouth, were summoned to the Red Mire Keep. And so it fed on locals predominantly. And then the Mason Order lived in the keep. It ate everybody that was in the keep. And it had faceless stalkers employed because Voldra wanted the magic being siphoned. And then it started like, let's use the beauties of infrastructure and use letters to draw some dumbasses from across the realm over, get some snacks and some magic going. So you guys, in my mind, were the first from Marsha's retreat. And part of the reason why is because everybody in Marsha's retreat was innocent. Aside from Randall, the guy who was scamming you guys' asses for housing your horses. He was ripping you off.
Yeah, he fucking.
I wrote his name. His name is Randall. Quote 10 gold a week.
Yeah. He's next on your list with your dog.
Wait, so you're telling me? Hold on. You're telling me these goofy shapeshifters are riding piggyback like right in our midst?
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, there's two shapeshifters. Like one's riding piggyback, one's common.
I hate everything about that.
Yeah, I know. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I guess that really didn't have to happen.
Yeah,
but
they're
it did.
Just
That's
no,
hella funny.
Dude, literally just leaning into
funny.
it.
That is hella funny.
Germs.
That's so funny.
Yeah, well, one of them was actually just had a cough, you know.
Nah, dude.
But no, that was.
That's right up there with those guys taking our beer, bro.
That's right. Yeah, in the other campaign, I had someone confiscate their beer. I still, just because you get to hear it too, Todd, and I said it. I made my favorite character ever made this session, and then he immediately died. Lambert, the dwarf in the actual.
Bro, Lambert was my favorite character when he fucking
Dude, Lambert
died,
came in strong, and I was really digging him. I was like, this guy's sick, and then he blew up.
You didn't get to see this man get fucking baptized in a couple thousand gallons of water.
Nah, bro, I think he made it, dude.
Yeah,
if we didn't see him die on screen, then that means he totally made it.
Damn, that's actually. I guess that's fair.
I mean, there was a portal to hell right in front of him. He could have ran through. You never know.
Dude, he's in there. He's the new Doomslayer.
Just Brandon with oil and a lantern. Okay, no shit. He had oil and a lantern, Cordell, specifically because of combat happening. He would have opened up the lantern, squirted oil through it to have it catch fire, just got it on you. That's the whole reason he had that.
I have no idea. Flamethrower.
Wouldn't that burn down the dam?
Yeah, he doesn't give a shit.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I guess
there's enough magic around. It'll buffer or whatever. He doesn't know.
Damn, bro.
He just works there.
How to
Him and Jenny.
Him. I was like, I know I need to get past you, but I don't know how. And it worked. I just told him I'll grease his wheels. So.
All right.
That's right.
Hell yeah. Well, I think we should probably close this giveaway so that the rightful winner can, in fact, at least know before it's like 2 in the morning. So we'll go ahead and close the giveaway.
Go ahead, let it rip.
Let's hope.
Let's
hope. Okay. Let's hope. How do I do this? I'm working on it. Corey won!
Corey, you son of a bitch!
I can't take it.
Dang, he rolled this for
Corey's
me.
like, that's so funny. That's so funny.
Hey, Turtles in a Furnace, you are the giveaway.
Turtles in a Furnace.
We will say,
personal favorite.
Corey did want to. Corey texted me and said, hey, if I do win it, go ahead and give it to someone actually in the stream because he is just that generous kind of a guy. And you know what? I knew as soon as he said that it was gonna draw him. I knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, I was hoping. I was like, after that generosity, it has to.
Yeah. So, so there you go. Turtles in a Furnace. We will get your contact information. Do not worry, and we'll send out the little merch bundle.
Yeah, we'll send you Evan's address. Just send your information.
Yeah, we'll send you Evan's address so you can show up for spooky day October, Halloween.
Yep.
Gabanza. You also get that as well in the bundle. But damn, that is it for the Red Mire Hunt, man.
Finally, a quick 3 session in and out.
Quick one shot. Quick one shot.
Just like we thought. 3 sessions.
Now
that's I wouldn't have it any other way.
I recall the words one shot.
I would like to say this. Literally the same thing happened to Connor as happened to me. I was like, hey, through the Frost Trail will be probably 5 to 8 episodes. Let's run it. 17 episodes later.
Jeez. I don't even know how many we're at now.
We're at 9. So it's gonna be 3.
So I'm reasonable. I only tripled it.
I think on the third one, you were like, at this point, I can guarantee the next episode will be the last. And then we doubled it.
Dude,
I remember those words. And then we doubled the season.
Yeah.
Doubling.
At a certain point, which helped, at a certain point, I stopped caring and just let the fire burn. I kind of just,
I mean, that's just something that we do. Like, even at the beginning, Jared, you're like, the epilogue will take like 2 hours, and then I was sitting in this chair for 4 hours.
I know.
No, yeah. No, it's been 7. It's been like 6.
It's gonna be 6 hours. We're stopping here almost at 6 hours.
But that's also with the space D&D. Well, we've been playing it for like a year, and it's been an in-game week.
No. It's been an in-game 2 weeks. You guys been traveling through space.
Also, Evan, our giveaway winner says, "I'll show up in a uniform, sir. How high should I wear my maid skirt?"
Oh, yeah.
How high?
Yeah, how high do you?
Just like drape it on your shoulders.
Holy shit!
That's ideal.
That'd be fine.
That'll be good.
That's so funny. Oh, I will just say this: I feel good because I had an amazing cry, and that is something.
Yeah.
That is also
Yeah,
is also in tandem with just like it feels good to conclude another arc, and then also I just feel good because I had let out so much fucking raw emotion.
Yeah, as a DM, having somebody cry for anything that happened because we were saying words at each other is fucking remarkable and awesome. That's great. I love that. We had a good. I love everybody's characters. Love everything that happened. Everybody did such a wonderful job, and I just appreciate all y'all showing up every week and just having goofy, funny times and willingly saying like, "Yeah, Connor, go ahead and try to traumatize me a little bit."
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
That means we made it. I like how the other.
You didn't. You literally died. But
I like how the other option was worse. Like this was terrible, and then
I will say there was so many doors. It's like if you open door 1 or 2, you're fucked. Door 3's fine. We'll open door 3. It's like, all right, if you open door 1, you're fine. 2 or 3, you're bad. We're like, we'll open door 1. I'm like, oh god, Jesus Christ! Did you guys read my notes? I didn't write them. How'd you guys?
I will say it's kind of crazy that with as I want to say mellow as well as it worked out, we still these two characters still got like one died and one is now just chilling in a recliner waiting 30 years to do something else, to do the bidding of a demon. So it's just crazy.
The fun thing is you get to decide, Jared. Whenever he comes out, that's on you. If he never does, that's on you.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm excited to do that. Also, quick shout out for Corey, who showed up for about 3 or 4 episodes and pretty much had like an hour maybe total runtime. So
it was good. I learned a lot about the different settings in Discord and the houses for sale around me. Can't lie, I was looking around a little bit.
Hey, okay.
But, it was a good time.
So. Also shout out to Corey, who is the best healer and is one of our mods. Who was while he was having to wait for his turn, he was running the stream and making sure everyone was attended to. So,
hell yeah,
good shit, Corey. We appreciate you, man, for all the behind the scenes.
Gotta love it. And hey, let me say, perhaps preemptively, I am very excited for the next arc.
Yes,
you have planned here, Jared.
Oh yeah. The next arc, no spoilers yet. There will be updates on the YouTube posting kind of feed. And then obviously stay tuned in the Twitch chats, or not Twitch chat, the Twitch schedule for the episodes. But honestly, the turnaround time for this next arc will be pretty quick, so keep an eye out. But I think that'll conclude it.
This arc was a horror genre, but the next arc, from what I understand, is going to be a heavily romance-inspired genre.
Yes. We're all playing bards, and we all want to fuck the guy to the left.
Yep.
And it's a game of compromise and passion.
All right, Connor, for the last time, get us out of here, man.
Okay. Well, hey, everybody who hung out through all these fucking things, we appreciate you. If you ever just showed up and just had some fun, it's been a great time. Thanks for showing up at Minimax 20. This is the end of the Red Mire for real this time, for sure. Final draft 3. But no, just take it easy, have a good night, and then we'll catch you next time.
Hell yeah. See you later.